You're listening
You're listening
You're listening
to another episode
of the Fresh Takes
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Fresh Takes podcast. I'm your host, Tim. And before we even start, I'm pretty sure there's something that you need to say, Tank.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown. 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high. And watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. EAGLES, Eagles.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia Eagles are your Super Bowl champions. And Pat is ecstatic.
If you can't tell by this nice streamer of confetti here, yeah.
Here's the thing. You were pointing over here and it was over
I was
here.
about to say, for us, it was on the other side.
You know, it's mirrored.
But, yeah, Pat, how'd you feel as soon as the clock hit 0?
I kind of felt it before then. Like, I wasn't, until it was like 27-0, I wasn't like convinced. And then I was like, okay, no, like their defense is actually not going to dwindle this lead. So
I mean, what was it? Like, y'all didn't blitz at all for like the first half, was it? And then and y'all had how many sacks on the first half without blitzing at all?
3 in each half. But yeah, I think 52% pressure rate with 0 blitz. Like, okay, yeah, please.
Well, I think they
You know,
said
here's
that
the
they
thing.
saw what the Bucks did, where they like stacked 5 on the line, and that's what got them.
Well, I mean, this whole season we've been saying that the Chiefs' offense is not great at all, and last night proved it. I mean, we've all three been saying it. So, but the Eagles' defense, I mean, phenomenal job. I mean,
So-
you had what? DeJean got an interception return for a score. Who had the other interception?
Bond.
Bond. I mean,
Should be
who?
the one who should have been defensive player of the year, Zach Bond.
I
Again.
still wouldn't go that far.
I was gonna say, if we count playoffs, okay, but if we're not, no.
I want to hear what you guys think was the momentum shift. I think that DeAndre Hopkins dropped wide open pass. That was the momentum shift. Like, Chiefs are done.
I mean, you saw on the sideline, it sucked the life out of Chris Jones.
Yeah, I would say
Oh,
if he catches that, I think they have a chance of scoring before half, and then maybe they have a chance in the second half. But that drop, it ruined them.
And then because the Bond pick wouldn't have happened then. Like, yeah, that was huge, very huge.
Yeah, I thought
I'm honestly
the
shocked that
Juju catch
Saquon
on the
did.
first drive, and then the pick from Brooks. I thought, oh, Chiefs might actually, have a chance.
Me too.
And then 3 and out instantly.
Yeah, and
Yeah. I'm
glad
shocked that Saquon didn't get a touchdown.
I'm glad the bullcrap calls happened like right away, and I was like, okay, like this is like the one on AJ is probably more justifiable as a penalty than the one on the guy that hit Goddard.
I would say
was like,
on Duffy smacking Goddard.
nowhere near a penalty, but I guess if we're doing a makeup call, like I'll take it.
Well, and then, I mean, you had the Jalen Carter punch to Mahomes' face and never said anything.
He was a blocker at that point. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And how many false starts did the center have on field goal last night?
I think every field goal.
Yeah, and then
I was gonna say.
Yeah, and
So
then
I think they did 3
for Milata. So
Although that one on
And
Mailata,
just
I mean, the defense kind of moved first.
Yeah, I liked
yeah,
how Mike Pereira was like explaining, and he like doesn't want to agree, but he's like, yeah, he wasn't even in the neutral zone though.
Yeah. But Mahomes is now
but
0-2 when Brady's in the Super Bowl, whether he's playing or he's broadcasting.
yeah,
Bringing
yeah.
box every year.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I want to go back to what you were
Was it?
saying, Tank. The Saquon not doing anything. That
Yeah,
was shocking.
that is one
Very shocking.
highlight of the Chiefs defense. I mean, they definitely had that plan going in, and they stuck to it at least. I mean, they definitely stopped him.
They let Jalen run though.
Yeah, he found his rush lanes, and then the nice like flat screens to Saquon, like four or five of them through the game. That definitely helped. At least give them something else to look for. But they
I
did a
think
great
their
job, I
defense
think.
really screwed themselves because they wanted to stop Saquon and it left the receivers open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of their downfalls. I mean,
Well,
it
and
it was really shocking to see their because their defense has been playing. I don't want to say phenomenal this season, but they were playing good enough to keep them in the games. And I've always said this whole season that Kansas City's defense is what progressed their record to be where they were. And to see them getting shut out the way they were getting shut out on defense, it was mind blowing. I honestly thought it was going to be like a 27-24, 27-21. I thought it was going to be a one score game, honestly. And I thought it was only going to be in the
Well,
20s
last week,
score.
Pat, you called it. You said you wanted a blowout.
uh, I mean, and the final score doesn't really even reflect how
Oh
big
no,
of a blow.
because they gave up in the fourth quarter. If they kept
Like,
playing, Kansas City would have had one score. That was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like that
So
last worthy touchdown. Their defense didn't
yeah,
even care.
it was all backups, and yeah, it was okay.
What was the diagnosis on Chris Jones?
I don't know. He went back in the game right after.
Oh, he did come back. He did come back in
Yeah.
the game. I thought because I remember him being questionable.
I think
I
they
think his
just said it
brain.
was like muscle tightness.
Yeah.
I
Right.
the other announcer, I can't remember. Is it Ian Eagle? Was that
Kevin
who's?
Burkhardt.
Oh, he was like, yeah, sometimes those braces like tighten up and like really mess with your muscles. And I will agree because my brace, when I had it last year, there was times that my brace would just like tighten around my leg, and I was like, oh my gosh, here's my knee giving out again.
Oh my.
So yeah, I think it was just problems with the brace.
I will say that there was no scoregami. That this score happened in one other Super Bowl, and that was the Patriots and Carolina.
I wasn't expecting a scoregami. I mean, at this point, it's gonna be hard to get scoregamis.
A lot of games.
Yeah, but I didn't think that score happened, honestly. So I was waiting for it, and I saw it happen again. I'm like, dang, that is.
Did any of you place any random touchdown props or anything
No,
before?
and I'm glad I didn't because I was gonna put Kareem Hunt, and so with that not
I
happening,
well,
I
I hit.
put. I had my wife put money on Jalen Hurts anytime score, Saquon Barkley anytime score, Kelsey anytime score, the Chiefs over 21 and a half points, and then another bet. And yeah, we only got like
It was
$2 out of the $50 bet we made.
mine was the so I had a Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, and Kareem Hunt parlay. And when the Dotson one originally got called, that's what I was like, yeah. But I also had a Jalen Hurts first touchdown score, so I was like, okay, I'm glad he didn't get it, I guess. But I got $50 in bonus bets because of the Jalen Hurts, and then I picked Eli Manning to win the kick of death.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. Did anybody expect Eli to win that, or did y'all expect Peyton to win that?
I
Nah,
definitely expected Eli to win that. Um,
So
this year, I think this is the year that I didn't place any bets other than the divisional bet that I made. But I I was so close with last year's Super Bowl that I was like, I'm not doing it this year because last year I had what was it? Mecole, McCaffrey, Pacheco, and one other person, and of course the one oh it was Debo, and of course Debo didn't score. And I was like, man, I hate when you get these 3 out of 4 bull crap.
yeah.
But all right,
Um,
ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl is over. Who's your pick for next year?
honestly, I already got who I think is going to each championship game, and I honestly think it's going to be Buffalo and Baltimore in the AFC Championship. I looked at the schedule a little bit of Baltimore. They have an easy schedule. They really have an easy schedule next year. Um, and then I have a feeling I, NFC is what's kind of got me kind of iffy on because if Detroit doesn't have as many players on IR like they did this year, I feel like they can make a run back. You can't count out Philly. I'm not. It's hard to say. Um, but then also you got Washington. Are they going to have a sophomore slump this upcoming year, or are they going to actually do something? So I mean, I got those three teams kind of battling it out.
I got the Vic Fangio Bowl. I'm going Denver versus Philly next year. I think Philly goes back. I honestly think that Philly repeats. I think Philly's going to be the next back to back.
looking kind of promising. They'll have to. I think they definitely have to make it a priority to re-sign Zach Bond. Um,
Well, from what
and
I've been seeing, is the top trader right now for Miles Garrett is Philly.
that'd be nice too. I think we finally cut Bradbury, or his term's up. We don't
I
have to
would say
pay
I think
him.
his contract's over.
I think I don't know what Darius Slay's gonna do. That's a lot of money that we could get in cap too. I think we need to cut Bryce Huff. He was kind of not a good project.
Well, I think Maddox walks too.
Yeah, and so like we bring in another corner if Slade does retire or whatever, and then I mean pretty solid defensive core other than that.
I know. I'd
I
spend the money and
think
get Travarius Ward.
yeah,
A
Mekhi
lot of
Becton's a free agent.
say a lot of things that
So
I'm seeing is that's the Giants' main target in free agency: Travarius Ward and Stephon Diggs.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. Like I think the Eagles have. I mean, Saquon's there on a 3-year deal. I think they have a nice 3-year window. They could
Yeah, three-peat.
they could eat.
Yeah, the old Eag Pete. We're
I
the
don't know.
three
I don't know
Eagles.
what team I would really honestly want. I really don't know what team. Besides, I mean, yeah, I would love the Cowboys to have a three-peat, but I don't know. Besides the Cowboys, I really don't know what team out there I would want to see a three-peat of.
Um,
I think aside from Philly, I don't know if because Philly went through the same thing, losing both coordinators, and then the next year it's hard to do it. So I don't know if Detroit is going. They're tough.
you also
Like I
got to
don't want to
think
say their
Philly's going to
windows.
lose Kellen Moore.
Yeah, and it'll depend on who they bring in again. I think.
Is he a for sure sign at Saint?
The
I,
last I saw is the Saints were waiting until the Super Bowl was over to ink it in.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like done. Unless he
I think
changes his mind because
I say
all right,
I think they're gonna wait until the parade and then like the week after they're gonna bring him in.
Which talking about the parade, Pat, are you going?
no, that's a hassle. I will. I'll parade around my own house, maybe. And
But if you do get a video of it so we can share it on our socials.
all right, all right. I
Pat's
am
gonna
scheduled.
pregame and watch the Jason Kelsey speech.
I'll show up. Well, I'm scheduled to do a bottle pickup for my job that day in Delaware, and it's only like 45 minutes outside of Philly where I have to go. So I was like, oh, I could just swing up and, but yeah, no, I probably won't.
Climb a light pole or something.
So
But all right, Pat, you didn't give us who you think's gonna make it though. You said Philly. What about your AFC?
Um, I really think the Ravens.
Oh, you're not
Um,
gonna give us your typical Indy?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, so, yeah, what was mine like 3 years ago? Broncos, Bears. I was like,
Yeah, I think like 6 or so years ago, it was always Broncos Bears. You're like, it's finally the year.
totally here. Um, I want to say Baltimore is probably the AFC favorite currently, even with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have a little soul searching to do after that performance. I don't want to count them
Yeah.
out. They're obviously great to make it to 6 out of 7 Super Bowls, but something's going on. I don't know.
I think if Burrow restructures his contract and they get T and Chase back, there's a chance Bengals make it. But they got to do something to that defense. But I think it's the time. It's got to be time for Buffalo to finally make it in there. Like, I think that this might be the start of a fall for Kansas City with that loss. And, the last time they lost, they didn't go to the Super Bowl the next year. They got eliminated by Cincy. I think that it might hit them because they're going to lose a couple people. Kelsey might retire. I don't think they had the
Well,
money to re-sign Hopkins.
and their division, the Broncos and Chargers are both like the second year of the Chargers. They're kind of a dark run or a dark horse too. I mean, they could
yeah.
with some improvements, they could easily make a deep run in playoffs.
And I mean, I don't want to count the Raiders out with getting Pete Carroll because everybody said Russell Wilson was going to be nothing, and Pete Carroll took them to the playoffs 2 years in a row with Russ. And on the second year of having Russ, they won the Super Bowl. And now that Russ was a free agent, he might go to the Raiders. So I don't know.
But
I
who do
think
you
that
think
division's going to be kind of sketchy, and
with
Kansas
that
City might fall.
with that being said, you think Russ goes there? Where do you think the Pittsburgh resigns Fields, or what do you think
Pittsburgh
happens
already
with
said they
Fields?
don't want Russ or Fields anymore. Last I saw that they're thinking of going for Rodgers.
For who?
For Rodgers.
Oh, okay. It cut off your thing on
Oh,
my
okay.
end cut.
So you don't see Rodgers going to Minnesota and doing the Brett Favre.
Not with McCarthy being there. I don't think that Kevin O'Connell or the new GM is going to want to do that. I think that they moved up last year to pick McCarthy. He got hurt. Why would you then sit McCarthy for a second year and basically waste draft picks?
Yeah, no, I
Um,
agree. I'm just the old Favre tradition thing going on inside.
So
I think Cooper Cup gets traded to the Giants. Uh, I think T. Higgins resigns. I think Chris
I
Godwin goes
think
to
Debo goes.
Buffalo.
Where do you think Debo goes?
I think it's like Debo and Parsons trade swap. I think Debo goes to Dallas, and I think Parsons gets traded out to the Niners.
Hate to see it. I really, but we've talked about it, Tim. You and I have talked about where how would you do with Michael Parsons, and I said, yeah, trade him. I don't want to. I really don't. But as a GM, you got to think about what you can do to help your team, and I feel we could have another. We would need another,
Well, it's not
wide
even
receiver.
that. They can't afford him.
they
No, we
trapped
can't.
themselves. They should have done
Well,
and not.
because
the
they
con.
yeah with the CD contract and the Dak Prescott contract, it was
Yeah,
And I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't have a backup quarterback at this point. Rush and Lance both contracts ended, so you need another quarterback back there. Daddle, I think, is on his last year. You just released Zeke. Brandon
which was
Cooks, I think,
stupid.
is on his last year. Trayvon Diggs is coming up on his last year. Yeah, Dallas is
And
in a
plus he's
rough spot.
and Trayvon's injured again.
Yeah, but he'll be back by the beginning of the season.
I don't know what I read that he was going to miss like the first month or 2 months of regular season.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know. Yeah,
Um, what March is when free agency technically is allowed to start. I I don't think Bucks re-signed Godwin. I don't think they got the money for it. Um,
No.
I think that Bengals might figure out how to get T.
Well, he even said he's willing to take less money to stay in Cincinnati.
Well, that's Burrow wants to restructure his contract so that him and Chase can stay. Um, who else are some big names? Is
yeah.
there
I haven't even
is there any
dived
running
into
backs?
the agent
I was
list.
say I haven't even really looked into it. So, right off the top of your head, who do you think will be the biggest free agent signee for any team?
Mm,
I don't.
Raiders getting Russell Wilson
Uh,
2 year deal, like 30 mil.
let's see.
I can see. What do you think is going down with Atlanta with Kirk?
Kirk, I think, will stay until a certain point because I think after a certain point, the money won't cost as much. Atlanta's going to eat the money and then they'll just trade him.
Think of a mid-level
Oh,
team.
okay. So I got some people who are free agents this year. Nick Chubb will be a free agent if he doesn't get re-signed. Khalil Mack, they already said that they weren't planning to re-sign Khalil Mack. Aaron Jones, he only signed a 1 year deal with Minnesota, although I think Minnesota might re-sign him.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh did say that there's talks of moving on from Najee. I'd like to see Najee in New York. I know that there
I like to
was
see him in
talks that
Dallas. I'm not even gonna lie.
say there was talks that they might try and reach for him. J.K. Dobbins, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper.
I wouldn't mind seeing Amari Cooper back in Dallas.
Baltimore needs to re-sign Ronnie Stanley or he walks.
That's a big signing if he goes.
Oh, well, here's another thing that's gonna hurt the Cowboys. Odigizua, his contract is over.
With a good name that Pat loves to say.
Pat Josh Sweat needs a new contract.
Hey, give it to him instantly. Cut Bryce off. Get him the hell out of there.
Yeah. Didn't Hassan Reddick re-sign with the Jets?
I thought he did.
I thought so, but it's saying that he needs a contract. Drake Greenlaw, Nick Bolton,
Hassan Reddick could come back to Philly.
Talanoa Hufanga. Yeah, imagine being Hassan Reddick complaining that you wanted a new contract and out of Philly because they wouldn't give you one, and then Philly goes on to win the Super Bowl. Now you look like a freaking dingus.
Well, I don't think we would have with him because he doesn't really play the scheme we need.
Yeah. Yeah, the other running back, Nick Chubb, is one, and I don't think the Browns are gonna re-sign him. Diggs is available, Hopkins is available, Marquise Brown is available. Damn, Kansas City's losing a lot this year, and they don't have a lot of money.
No.
Giants are losing Darius Slayton. Bears lose Keenan Allen. Pittsburgh loses Mike Williams.
I think,
Yeah, so
yeah, some type of receiver, probably to Washington. Um,
I could see
I don't know.
Godwin going to Washington.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be Keenan Allen. I don't think he's necessarily the fit, but Godwin,
No,
yeah,
I think Bears honestly franchise
Slayton
tag.
might not.
I hate to say this, but I could see Slayton in an Eagles jersey.
He's the next
Like
Dawson next year.
I would say, I don't think that Dotson has a contract, and I think that Darius Slayton signed with Philly just on a 1 year.
He's a good run blocker too. We'll take him.
He's a good slot receiver. Keenan Allen, I think he gets franchise tagged by the Bears, honestly. Uh,
Yeah, I guess they
I can
could.
see
I don't
that.
know.
I could see the Bengals taking somebody like Mike Williams to have a third, but it's like a 1 year real bad contract. I think Hopkins resigns. They find a way to get Hopkins to resign. Marquise Brown, I think, goes back to Baltimore.
I can see that.
For them.
Say that would be helpful. Bateman, Brown, and Flowers all together.
Maybe like Amari Cooper goes down to Houston or something. Since Diggs is a free agent, give him some side help. I know he's a little older, but
I don't know. Somebody like Amari Cooper, I feel he's kind of like at the end of his road. I'm thinking maybe a Jet.
yeah, but I
No,
feel
actually, I think Amari Cooper goes back to the Raiders.
start restart. Yeah, I mean, depending on who they bring in, he could. Yeah,
Yeah, I say if they sign Russ, I think Cooper could honestly go back to the Raiders. I think one of these guys might go to the Rams just since they're planning to get rid of Cooper Cup.
yeah.
Somebody like Mike Williams.
I was gonna say Mike Williams there. I can see a
I think the Giants trade
good
for
fit.
Cup. I think they sign Diggs, and then we have Cup, Diggs, Malik, and Wandale. We trade away Jalen Hyatt. Um, I don't know, potential signing to like Justin Fields.
I don't know who Dallas goes in. I mean, the only thing I can think of is as a backup would be Fields, but I don't even know who to even look
I
at.
think you guys just re-sign Trey Lance to a small deal. Honestly, just re-sign Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven to help us out tremendously.
Yeah, but all right,
Um,
ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this season. We are going to take a 2 week hiatus and then we will come back for the off season where we're going to hit you with the trivia again. Tank's got a couple trivias. I got a couple trivias. We got some fun things planned. Don't know if April or May we're going to do our derby. August, September, we're going to do our, what is it, punt, pass, kick, whatever.
pass and kick.
I'm kind of in charge of the derby. Tank's going to be in charge of the punt, pass, and kick. But yeah, I can look forward to it. It's going to be a fun off season. Think it'll be a lot more to do that we can do during the off season now that I'm not injured.
Yeah, thankfully.
Maybe
Not
we
not wishing that that it sucked that you got in it, but you know what I'm saying? Pat, stop trying to eat the heck one footballs.
maybe we
He's
convince
trying to eat
Tank.
W's.
Maybe we convince Tank to drive up here and we'll play the NFL Uno I got.
Oh, Uno, say no more.
But yep,
Oh,
that's it for me. We're gonna send it on over to you, Pat.
well, what can I say except, I don't know what any of these do, but here we go. 1 second, folks. It'll be worth it. If I could just find the right one.
Just gonna spell out Eagles or something.
I don't see
That's
I don't see an eagle, so this bird will have to work.
Yeah, Blue Jays winning the World Series.
Oh, Toronto. Um, hey, the Eagles got it done. I I'm kind of a very subtle Philly fan. For those of you that watch and know typical Philly fans, I'm not much of a talker or whatever. But yeah, I was very concerned they weren't going to get it done again, and the Chiefs were going to make me hate my life. But I love my life today. I love it.
Oh,
And
there's one other thing that I forgot to mention. Back when we did the predictions before the season even started, one person in here predicted the Super Bowl winners. Pat said that the Eagles would win the Super Bowl.
He did.
He picked Eagles Bengals.
well, hey, that count as like 25 points to me on our weekly picks because I absolutely sucked this year. So at least I got the big game correct. And Tank, your rendition of Fly Eagles Fly will forever hold a place in my heart. Only, only you. Maybe do it again here.
Pat, I just want to say I love you, brother. Congratulations to you and the Eagle fans. Some of the Eagle fans, because I can't stand all of them. They are a-holes. I'm not going to lie to you. But I mean, you can find those kind of fans everywhere, just like Dallas Cowboys fans. I can't even stand half of the fans that are on my team, that like my team. But other than that, it was a great season this year. I did suck at some of my picks. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and did you know that Pat won the Super Bowl picks that we did on the Gatorade and the MVP and the winner and the all that stuff? So congratulations, Pat, on that too. Like Tim said, we're going to take a 2 week hiatus and then we'll return. So other than that, you can follow us on the good OX, aka FKA ARTA, Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Don't forget, you can like he's eating cheeseburgers. You can listen
Andy
to us on Apple
Reid?
Podcasts and Spotify. Listen to us on Spotify podcasts. And yeah, till next season, Tank signing off. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.